The Code of Federal Regulations for related services begins at 34 CFR section 300.34, and this section's pretty self-explanatory. Related services means supportive services that are required to assist a child with disability to benefit from their special education. And then it lists these here and goes on to list some services that are available also. This is not an exhaustive list. There can be other things that could be related service also. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at things. But it's a pretty big list, and take a look at what your child needs and what the definition of each of those services are. We'll give an example here. For example, number 6, occupational therapy means services provided by a qualified licensed occupational therapist. And then it includes, and it lists out some things that it includes that are occupational therapy. Going back up a little ways, one exception is services that apply to children with surgically implanted devices, and including cochlear implants. And if you have that, if your child has a surgically implanted device, it talks a little bit about what the school does and does not do. So take a look at that, and it's pretty self-explanatory also. There are 16 specifically identified related services in the federal rules and regs, ending with transportation. I would also like to talk a little bit about assistive technology devices and services in this section on related services. Now, assistive technology could be a related service. It also could be a supplementary aid or service in order to keep your child in the regular classroom longer. Related services and supplementary aids and services are two different terms. Related services is to benefit from your child, to benefit from their education. They receive that service. Supplementary aids and services are to keep them in the regular classroom as much as possible. They're kind of often used interchangeably. So let's just talk a little bit about assistive technology. It is, on a case-by-case basis, the use of school-purchased assistive technology devices in a child's home or in other settings is required if the child's IEP team determines that the child needs access to those devices in order to receive a free, appropriate public education. Then there's a definition of an assistive technology device. An assistive technology device can be a lot of different things. It can be a computer with an enlarged screen. It can be a keyboard. It's what they call an Alpha Smart. I don't even know if they use those anymore. But it could be a keyboard type thing where your child has problems writing, but they can key just fine. Technology has advanced so much that this is a great thing to be discussed in the IEP meeting. Assistive technology has come a long ways and can help your child quite a bit in their trying to access their education. There's also a definition of assistive technology services. And so, not only do you get the device, the school also services it. If the IEP team decides that you need it at home to do homework and stuff, you can also take it home. Your device will be coordinated with other therapies. Your child will be trained on it if necessary. You'll be trained on it. It also comes in extremely beneficial when you're talking work-related activities. If it helps in the work environment, then it's something you really need during the transition stage for your child. So take a long look at assistive technology devices and services. They're really important. Finally, I've included a definition of supplementary aids and services just to show you the difference between the definition of related services and supplementary aids and services. And this, of course, is supplementary aids and services are provided to enable children with disabilities to be educated with non-disabled children to the maximum extent appropriate, that is LRE. And so that's what a supplementary aids and services are. Related services are to benefit a child for a free, appropriate public education. If you don't know the difference, not that big a deal. Just know that they're both used for your child to benefit from their education and to stay in the regular classroom as much as possible. And that is a definition of related services.